Okay.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey guys, Michael Olise is going to Bayern Munich for lots of money. Sad. At least he's not going to Manchester United, a Premier League rival. Look, I got really into the idea of signing Michael Olise. I was gassed on it, but I mean, look. At the end of the day, left-footed, right-sided attackers, we do have an abundance, whether it's currently Cole Palmer or Noni Madueke. You know, Kendry Pius, I know he plays a little bit more century, but Esteval Willian. You know, if we do keep Omari Hutchison, Angelo Gabriel, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. But we're going to talk about it today. Firstly, David Ornstein will forever be the GOAT. He will forever be the GOAT, David Ornstein, because he is the man. He comes in with the hard knowledge, bro. He drops it on us. So we're going to react to his article today, which explains what the ruddy heck happened. And then at the end of the video, I'll give my entire thoughts. So thank you for joining me as always. Thank you for supporting the content. It does mean a lot to me. All the likes and comments. And of course, if you do want to subscribe, that's great. We are nearing, well, not nearing, but we're on the road to 200,000. That's nice. All right, so Ornstein dropped this big one on us. Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise has decided to join Bayern Munich. Oh, Musiala and Olise, those bastards. By the way, Musiala and Olise, what do they have in common? Chelsea Academy. We do know how to make them. So Bayern are now expected to agree a deal with Palace for the 22-year-old France youth international to put an end to the speculation over his future this summer. The Athletic revealed that the German club had contacted Palace. We knew that they had. I would have assumed. I think many people were assuming Bayern Munich didn't want to spend the money. I know they've recently changed their will to spend, because how much did they spend on Harry Kane? £88 million. And Kane had 12 months left on his deal or something at Tottenham. So they showed that they were just willing to spend. At least they was going to be £65 million, but still, if they don't have to, Bayern won't spend a lot of money. So yes, Bayern Munich contacted Crystal Palace, while Chelsea were given the go-ahead also to speak to Olise before deciding the finances involved were beyond their reach and did not want to proceed. So this was so we're gonna read that in just a second. Newcastle had also approached the Selhurst Park Club, easy for me to say, while United and City have long retained an interest in the player, but it didn't sound like either of them were going to do that. Olise was close to completing a move to Chelsea last summer, but he opted to stay in London, signing a new 4-year deal. Olise joined Palace in 2021. He scored 10 goals and provided 6 assists in 19 appearances in that campaign last season. He did really, really well. We don't need to read any more on that. He's going to Bayern Munich. I'm just trying to look for any more key things here. Of course, they've got Serge Gnabry, who's got questionable fitness. Leroy Sané remains unpredictable. Of course, Kingsley Coman has played not many games. Muller's time's coming to an end, and it looks like, it will be Musiala and Olise for Bayern Munich. Those ruddy so-and-sos. All right, so a little bit more on Chelsea then. Chelsea have pulled out of the race to sign Michael Olise from Crystal Palace. This is the article that he published just 15 minutes before. The West London side contacted Palace on Thursday to express an interest in Olise and request permission to speak with his camp. That was granted, and Chelsea indicated they wanted an outcome by the end of this week. Well, we already are on Friday. Chelsea made what they believed to be their strongest offer, but felt the finances involved were beyond reach and chose not to proceed. The Stamford Bridge hierarchy are aiming to complete a I can't read English today, are aiming to create a more disciplined wage bill, which we've spoken about and covered extensively here on the channel, than in the past, and a transfer target that does not fit into what they would rather. Sorry, I can't read. And if a transfer target does not fit into that, they would rather reward existing players who outperform over time or invested in new elite talent. So yeah, okay, that's quite good actually. So it's not like they're unwilling to pay high wages, but they're not going to do what Chelsea did in the past, like just come to Chelsea and you get loads of money and that's the only reason to go. Like, for example, I think this is what I was inferring is that Cole Palmer could eventually earn what, Michael Olise is going to get at Bayern Munich because he's earned it and built up to it at the club. Because just because you're buying an elite talent doesn't mean they're going to perform in an elite way in your team. Look, Romelu Lukaku is the biggest and most recent example. We spent 100 million on him. We gave him 350k a week. Yes, he was amazing for 2 years at Inter and for Belgium, but he wasn't here. It's dumb. So we did the same with Timo Werner. Obviously Timo Werner was useful for Chelsea, but we bought him as a goal scorer, as a finisher, because he scored loads of goals for Leipzig. It didn't work. We gave him really high wages. Kind of similar with Kai Havertz. We knew Kai Havertz was going to be, we're not really buying him to be a bagsman so much and score loads of goals, but you're buying him to be this like superstar, difference maker. Like, he was meant to be Eden Hazard, and it's like, okay, let's give him 300k a week or 280k a week or something. The new hierarchy aren't prepared to do that, which, to be honest, like, as much as I want Olise, I kind of sign off on that. It's my club, like Chelsea. Like, I want us to do the right thing that can make us sustainable, and and also just don't hand out dumb contracts to anyone. Do you know what I mean? Yes, and Chelsea are looking to invest in elite talent on more reasonable salaries, it says here. While there is no doubt about Chelsea's pursuit of Olise for the second summer running, its potential impact on their squad balance and depth meant the conditions needed to be right. Yeah, so like, if you're going to get this additional right winger on top of all the rest, then you need to be like worth it and not going to cost loads of money. Of course, they already have left-footed attackers, the informed Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Amari Hutchison, Angelo Gabriel, and of course, both Esteval Willian and Kendry Paez are scheduled to arrive next summer before the Club World Cup starts. So, despite hopes ending of Olise being added to that list, Chelsea talks with his representatives and Palace chairman Steve Parish are said to have been very cordial. Confidence at Chelsea remains high that recently appointed head coach Enzo Maresca and his team, which is likely to include 2 attacking additions this summer, will excel next season and secure Champions League qualification for next season. Look, I mean, that is, incredible ambition, you must say. Yeah, just incredible ambition, you must say, to be in Champions League. I'll take it. 350k. I'm reading like some crazy salaries here. That Olise wants 300k. That Olise wants, 350k a week. That's incredible if that's true. Anyway, look, man. I'll do some fact checking on that in between, but I'm seeing all kinds of crazy stuff here. I'm not saying he can't get it, because he can. He's good. If Olise went to Manchester United, he would get he would get the Jadon Sancho money. He would. He genuinely would. He'd get like serious money, like because that's what Man United do, and Chelsea don't do that. And that's you've recently had friggin' what's his name, Jim Ratcliffe, come out and do an interview with Bloomberg and just be like, Man United have been mugs for ages. I'm paraphrasing here. But he explained about the net spend since Sir Alex Ferguson. It's like 1.1 billion. We've got nothing to show for it. It's extensively more than Real Madrid. Real Madrid have several players in their squad worth 100 million. We don't have one. Brutal stuff here. And they've built a new Bernabeu. Oh, and by the way, they're just winning loads of Champions Leagues in between. You could say they're one of the strongest teams in their league, but the Champions League, bro, everyone can have a crack at that, provided you qualify for it. Actually, if I was a Man United fan, I know I'm going off on a little tangent here, I actually really like what Ratcliffe said, but he's right. It's not just about spending loads of money now, and because also it's obviously, firstly, many of you might be going, Jan, this is heavy copium. Yeah, of course. I was open about saying I wanted Olise, but if you said to me this morning, Jan, would you give Olise 300k a week at Chelsea? I'd say no. We're giving Mudryk 90k a week. I know he's not the flavour of the month, Mudryk, But we're not going to give that money to young players. Cole Palmer's on like, what's he on, like 85, 90k a week at Chelsea, and he's just had like a record-breaking season. You can't just buy Olise and give him over 3 times his salary. I know, like, and you know, Cole Palmer's due a pay rise, and like I said, it's worth mentioning that Cole Palmer will get a pay rise. The Athletic have reported that long ago, saying that, you know, Chelsea, you know, they're not just going to make him play for that money on, or for like 8 years or whatever his contract is. You come to Chelsea, you get a very strong wage. You know, like a very strong wage. If you're playing in like the French league or if you're playing in South America, you're gonna like quadruple your wages anyway. But if you're like playing in Europe, you'll double your wage. Come to Chelsea, but you know what? You got the chance to over time quadruple your wage and play in this great, you know, team in this great league and qualify for Europe and then play in Europe and stuff like that. So I get it. And to be honest, like, it's a great signing for Bayern because Bayern pay that wages. They just do because they've got, you know, a monopoly on the German league. Their branding's massive. They make a lot of money. They're a massive club, Bayern. Let's not be silly here. And they can spend money on crazy wages. And that's just not where we're on right now, especially with young players. And especially if we were a Premier League winning, if we were Man City and had a few more senior players, you sort of lean into that, you know. But the fact that we're not that, we've got a lot of young players and we're trying to keep them all happy equally as a team, and not bringing in some new kid and just putting them on silly wages. To be honest, I sign off on it. Like, you know, it's not even feel like the one that got away. If it was like Man United just signed him, it would leave a really rough taste in my mouth. But because the wage demands are so excessive, and because he's going to Bayern Munich, I'm like, whatever, you know. Maybe, you know, I think Noni Madueke is great. Maybe he starts for us next season. I did have a different kind of excitement to have, and it's nothing against Noni, it's just like that caliber of right winger, you know, and just to have 2 attacking midfielders like Cole, like in Olise together, that was really exciting for me personally, I think. But, you know, maybe there's another player, I don't know, maybe. I was just thinking, like, everyone's talking about Nico Williams, which Chelsea have really aggressively explored previously. Nico Williams wants crazy wages as well, and he's also 21 or whatever, similar age to Olise. I know he's tearing up for Spain now in the Euros and will certainly get a big move with big wages. But I think Bilbao are currently playing in big wages. It's something to do with him staying there for a while, and then, yeah, they were willing to pay him big wages so they get a big transfer fee, and he re-signed, basically. There's an understanding there. But yes, mate, Olise off to Bayern Munich, and he does feel quite like a Bayern player, doesn't he, with the amount of, you know, young wingers they always seem to get. Look, I'm reading here on Twitter. You know, many of you know Matisse, YouTuber, great content creator. He's written Olise wants 300k a week. But didn't want 300k a week 4 weeks ago. We've been negotiating for him. Has that demand come up today, the same day Bayern beat us for his signature? Sounds like we got rejected. So he's suggesting here that he's basically chosen Bayern over Chelsea. Is there a problem? Do you have beef with that? Do you have beef with that at all? Look, if someone chose Bayern Munich for Chelsea after we won the Champions League, you'd be like, all right. Do you know what I mean? Because like, it's just how it is, dude. But to choose Bayern Munich over Chelsea right now and where we are, it's like, it's fine, bro. It is suggesting here, though, from The Athletic and, of course, other reputable journalists now that he does have big wage demands, though. And yeah, think of it what you want, guys. I'm disappointed. I liked it. I wanted him to come, but yeah, if it's not to be, then we'll look at somewhere else. It'll be very interesting to see if we do go for a different right winger, and to see if there's another option out there. Yeah, so I'm annoyed, but you know, Bayern Munich, high wages. We move. Let me know what you think, of course. I always want to read your guys' opinions, so please do leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And yes, hope to see you guys back here soon. Of course, when news pops, I will react accordingly. So I hope to see you back. Peace.